Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we are going to explore the fundamental building block of life itself. We will be diving deep into the definition of the cell. We are not just going to give you a simple dictionary definition. We will break down the key points that make a cell unique, explore the historical cell theory that changed biology forever, and take a close look at the basic cell structure to see how these tiny machines actually work. So let us get started. Key points and definition. First, let us look at the core definition, as stated clearly in the center of our slide. The cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all forms of life or organisms. Let us look at the key points on the left to understand this better. Point 1, microscopic nature. First, cells are microscopic. This means that for the most part, they are too small to be seen with the naked eye and are visible only under a microscope. Point 2, universal building blocks. Second, every single living organism you see around you, from the smallest bacteria to the largest blue whale, is made of one or more cells. Point 3, life processes. And third, these cells are busy. They carry out all essential life processes, including growth, reproduction, metabolism, and responding to stimuli from their environment. The animal cell structure. Now let us look at how a cell is built. In the center of the slide, we have a detailed diagram of a basic animal cell. Let us identify the key parts. Surrounding the entire cell is the cell membrane, which acts as a protective barrier, controlling what enters and exits. Inside, filling the space, is the cytoplasm, a jelly-like substance that holds the organelles in place. The large purple structure in the middle is the nucleus. This is the control center of the cell, containing the genetic material. You can also see the endoplasmic reticulum, which looks like a maze. It helps in transporting materials and synthesizing proteins. Finally, notice the bean-shaped structures labeled mitochondria. These are often called the powerhouses of the cell because they generate the energy needed for the cell to function. Cell theory. On the right side of the slide, we have the cell theory. This theory was proposed by scientists Schleiden and Schwann back in 1839, and it revolutionized biology. It consists of three main pillars. All living things are composed of cells. Whether it is a plant, an animal, or a fungus, it is made of cells. Cells are the fundamental unit of structure and function. This means the cell is the smallest unit that can perform all life processes. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. This is a crucial concept summarized by the Latin phrase omnis cellula e cellula. It means life does not just spontaneously appear. New cells are created by the division of old cells. Now it is time to zoom in and look at the anatomy of a specific type of cell. On the screen, you can see image titled Animal Cell Structure. Plasma membrane focus. This is a detailed map of an animal cell. I want to take you through every single part labeled here, following the arrows, and I will mention the colors so you can follow along easily. Left side, internal structure. Let us start on the left side with the internal structure. First, looking at the top left, we see the nucleus. It is depicted here as a large dark blue and purple sphere. This is the command center of the cell, housing all the genetic material. Next, right next to the nucleus, we see a maze-like structure labeled rough ER and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. You can see they are both colored in a light blue shade. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is covered in little dots. Those are ribosomes, which give it a rough texture. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum looks similar but lacks those dots and is more tubular. It is responsible for making lipids and detoxifying the cell. Moving down to the bottom left, look for the two small yellow cylindrical structures labeled centrosome. These are vital for cell division. Just below that, we see small circular organelles. There is the lysosome and the peroxisome. These are the cell's recycling and waste management centers. Finally, filling up all the empty blue space between these organelles is the cytoplasm. It is the jelly-like fluid that keeps everything suspended and functioning. Right side, organelles. Now let us look at the right side of the cell. Notice the large structure colored in green labeled Golgi apparatus. It looks like a stack of flattened green pancakes. The Golgi acts like the cell's post office, packaging and shipping proteins to where they are needed. Down at the bottom right, there is a distinct reddish-brown bean-shaped organelle labeled mitochondrion. As we mentioned before, this is the powerhouse of the cell, generating the energy we need to survive. Plasma membrane focus. This slide has a special focus, which brings us to the circle on the far right, the plasma membrane. Zoom in. This shows us the molecular details of the cell's outer skin. Let us look at the specific components labeled here. Integral protein. You can see the pinkish-red blocks that go all the way through the membrane. These act as channels or gates for molecules. Peripheral protein. There is a small purple sphere, resting on the surface attached to the membrane, but not going through it. Cholesterol. Look for the small yellow hexagon shapes tucked inside the membrane tails. These help keep the membrane stable and fluid. Glycolipid. And finally, the structures with the little chains sticking out. These are involved in cell recognition, helping the cell identify itself to other cells. Outro and conclusion. So as you can see, an animal cell is not just a bag of fluid. It is a highly organized machine with specific colored parts. The blue nucleus, the green. Golgi, the red mitochondria, all working together to keep the organism alive. This covers the detailed structure of the animal cell shown in this image. I hope this breakdown helps you understand biology a little better. If you found this video helpful and enjoyed this deep dive into cell anatomy, please hit that like button, share this with your study friends, and do not forget to subscribe for more detailed educational content. Leave a comment below if you have any questions about the organelles we discussed today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.